morning, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you might be doing. We wish to welcome you to the Silverlight Show. The Silverlight shines to illuminate that which lies hidden in darkness. For those of you tuning in today, we welcome you in. I've had to redo my security system in minor ways, putting up signs in more visible spots, letting people know there's cameras just in case somebody wants to say, you can't film me. Yeah, my private property, I can. But that way it has notifications so that nobody can claim, oh, you're spying on me. Now, while my neighbors are pretty cool and they have no problem with it, I don't know, maybe they move out this year and somebody else comes in. It's important to keep up with these things. And also, I have to aim my camera a certain way because I don't want to capture certain things from my neighbors. Um, One of my neighbors, who's not so cool, but they keep mostly to themselves, has what I believe to be their son, but maybe it's a cousin, don't know the exact age, has people visiting all hours of the day, and he's getting in and out of their cars, driving around for like 15 minutes and coming back. Yeah, you know what that is without me telling you, right? So I purposely aim my cameras so they don't interact with that because I don't want to be subpoenaed. I don't want to get into any of that. My security system is not the world's best. It's actually designed to blur out license plates. My friend was looking at it and says, oh, why don't you buy one of the new Google ones? And I said, well, not really much point. I got an $80 Amazon cheapie, and it does all the security that I need. It watches the front door. It alerts me when there's somebody there. And we have to remember, most systems available to people are only useful after the fact. You put a nice door lock on your door, your deadbolts and your Chubb security lock and all that sort of thing. It's going to deter the average run-of-the-mill thief, but it's not going to do anything to the person that thinks, hey, I can smash that big window in and walk out with it whatever I want to. My camera will help at that point, only because it's evidence I can turn over to the police. There's very little active security you can buy unless you want to pay a security guard to cover your property. And most people are not in that situation. So all we can do is set the cameras up and hope the criminals don't notice them because, again, the first thing any intelligent criminal would do would be to whack the thing down with a baseball bat or a crowbar or whatever they're bringing in to defend themselves. Because from personal experience, I can tell you those windows are pretty tough. Not unbreakable, but pretty tough. Enough to make you think twice. You think car glass is tough? You should see what the police have to use to get through car glass. And it's nowhere near as tough or as thick as a window. So realistically, security is taking preventative measures because you want people to think, nah, this place is going to be tough to break into. Once you're there and the criminal has crossed the threshold, all those measures mean nothing. Now there is, in the United States, there's some places with stand your ground law, protect your house. Up here in Canada, I think it's clause 17, which says you may use the same amount or less force to detain or discourage a criminal. But how many punches does a broken window equal? It's one of those situations where you honestly can't make that equation, and a judge is going to have to sit there putting his hands behind his head and trying to figure out that exact same equation with the criminal saying, oh, I didn't mean to break in there, but I was high that day, or whatever their excuse is, while the homeowner is making their victim statement. We lost everything and our insurance company was mean and, the lawyer didn't want to take our case or whatever the case might be. you're always going to be on the defensive. My plan is very simple. I have a weapon available to me, not some desert eagle that you see Clint Eastwood waving around, but it's enough to make people think twice. And I would just shout down, take anything on the main level, don't go upstairs, don't go downstairs. And my family would be on the upper level. Seriously, that's my plan. Not a great plan, but I'm in no position to get into a firefight with anybody. I'm in no position for that thug to want to come back and bring all their friends and break all the windows and take everything upstairs and downstairs. You just hope they're simple home invaders and hang on. And that's all you can really do. I mean, yes, in the United States, you can theoretically exchange a life for breaking into your property. But what kind of a psychopath would you have to be where you're sitting there and saying, they broke into my house, they deserve to be unalived? That's a big equation. Some criminals are young, dumb, stupid kids that get talked into doing crazy stuff. Some are on methamphetamines and other chemicals that I don't even want to begin to imagine. And realistically, the house will still be standing. In my case, my TVs and everything are so old, they're not even smart TVs. They're still flat screens, LED, and all that sort of stuff. They're just not smart TVs. So, if I am to apply this equal or lesser damage principle, there's nothing worth going down and confronting them. There's also the fact I'm not prepared in a given situation. The people that I have sparred with in the past, I get to watch, I get to see their weaknesses, and I can develop a plan. I'm running down raw to a person who very well may be a mixed martial arts fighter. He very well may be armed with a weapon I'm not sure about. It's a dumb decision. You got to think tactically. If my family lost all of our valuables on the main floor, well, the criminals are going for the TV, the computer, and stuff like that. And our real valuables are like the multi-cooker, the air fryer. That's where we consider our stuff. My books that are hidden away in a closet. The freezer. Those are my valuables. They're not going to be able to turn those over for much of a profit. But they're going to go for the old TVs, and that's my level of security. You step up here, you're going to mess with me. You step downstairs, you're going to mess with somebody. You stay on the main floor, and I'm not going to argue too much. I will turn the footage over to the various law enforcement agencies, but I'm just going to be suing you for the cost of replacing my window, because everything else just cannot be valued at this point. Now, imagine I'm Billy Big Bollocks, and I decide I'm a rootin', tootin', shootin' kind of guy, and I waste these people. Some people can feel very justified in their actions, and yes, a crime was committed. And let's pretend that was legal here. So, speaking as somebody with diagnosed PTSD and having been around more corpses than I care to admit, I don't want that on my conscience. Leave me and my family alone, or we're going to leave you alone, and we'll sort it out later. Yeah, you may want to think that you're who was the guy in Looney Tunes? Was it Sam? You know who I'm talking about. It's not a solution in any way, shape, or form. The only thing that happens, except for a few places, is you are going to wind up answering a whole lot of questions. And again, the security camera is not going to stop anybody who really wants to get in. It's just saying, no, don't do that. Yosemite Sam, that's who I was trying to think of. You playing judge, jury, and executioner, what problems did you solve? Yeah, they're not going to bother you again, but they have families, they have friends, they have people that care about them. And I'm not strictly against the unaliving penalty. Doesn't it just sound weird when you have to comply with YouTube rules? I'm not strictly against it, but there's circumstances where it should apply. But killing multiple, unaliving certain amounts of people gets you to that mass unaliver status. Then the charges become different, and my attitude becomes maybe the unaliving penalty should still apply. Most of these people who defend their house don't feel remorse, and you know what? I love my house. I like the stuff that I have. Could it be better? Yeah, it could. But my house and I have been through thick and thin. It's big enough to contain everything I need. And it's not one of these 56 room mansions that I need a cleaning service to take care of it because, if I just cleaned the mansion, that would be all I would be doing for the week. My TV, could it get better? Yeah, it could be better. But it does the job I intend for it. And I don't even watch that much TV. Like on the weekends, my wife will usually want to put a movie on and have the family around. That's pretty much the extent that my TV is used. We could do the same with a laptop and not lose very much quality. So am I going to fight for these things? Am I going to take a life for these things? Rationally, no. Now, I'm going to have a scared wife and a scared little girl. My concern is going to be with them. But if I can ensure their safety, then I'm pretty much cool with anything else that might happen. And that's the way people don't consider themselves. What's a fair return for your security? Yes, there's somebody in your house. They've already violated your security. But realistically, they're there for this quick score. And whether it's a gang or mob or whatever, let them take whatever they want. Maybe during, Black Friday, it's worth assaulting somebody over television. But in regular everyday use, it's just not. And the security systems are not going to record who was taking what out. So again, they're useless at that point. They're only good for deterring the people that really, really want to share their beliefs with you. And like I said, the occasional really, really desperate criminal. So all that being said, yeah, I understand where stand your ground comes from. I understand security systems and their role is purely passive. But what price is a life? How much stuff has to be stolen that you would harm somebody for it? I have some things that are valuable to me that might not be valuable to even a person that knows what they're looking at. But I'm not willing to take that step until you threaten my family. And then all bets are off. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Silverlight Show. If you did, please like, share, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Don't forget to click the bell icon or whatever notification icon that you have so that way you can remain in touch every time we publish a new episode. And we hope you have a fantastic day.